Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Borg battleship Yamato. So, with that being said, we are running the Borg Queen. Again, if you haven't heard what I talk about with this commander, she's easily the best battleship commander for the Japanese battleships now. She gives you Master Mechanic in the third row, which is very nice. Gives you extra heals, which is something that the Japanese have desperately needed for a while. But we're running Azure Lane, Colorado, Andrew Cunningham as our inspirations. We're running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Master Mechanic, and we're running High Octane Warrior. We have, in the last slot, Fight Fire with Fire, of course. We are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Module, and we're running the Epic Main Battery Mod 3. And again, if you guys ever want to upgrade your modules in the fourth slot, you got to press X, or I'm assuming square on PlayStation. And if you have at least 500 steel, you can upgrade a standard module to an epic module, and you can upgrade, you need another 2,000 steel to upgrade from a epic module to a legendary module. Honestly, that's a waste of steel in my opinion. Your best bet is just simply get the epic modules and be done. You don't need to upgrade to legendary. The bonus damage really isn't all that helpful, in my opinion. Anyway, with all of that being said, let's take a look at this thing, and let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are back in Yamato, and we are on Land of Fire. But before we get started, I just want to say I'm sorry for missing a couple of uploads. I've been out of town for the last few days. I've been working my butt off. If you guys don't know, I started working with a construction crew. We went to a warehouse where we were doing joining, where they've already cut the floor on the concrete floors. You don't know what a concrete joint is, but anyway, they cut the concrete floor, and then we go in and then we grind the areas that they've cut, and then we put some foam packing down in it, and we fill it with epoxy resin. And what that does is it helps keep the floor a little bit more stable, and hopefully keeps the edges from cracking as quickly. But anyway, that's what I've spent the last few days doing. I went all the way out to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and worked on I think it was a 1,000,000-square-foot warehouse out there, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, kind of kicked my butt. Turns out 3 years of sitting on your butt playing video games without actually working, and then going back and working hard. And it's not hard work in terms of like what you're doing isn't difficult. It's just a lot of work, and the scraping is the worst, because once you fill it in with the resin, then you got to go through with a hand scraper and scrape all of the parts where they cross. And then we got a machine that goes through and tries to get all the long sections, but doesn't always work out. So you end up scraping a boatload. Yesterday was 95 degrees in Chambersburg, and it was humid as crap. And so I spent all day in that heat just busting my butt. Or not yesterday, sorry. You guys are going to see this on today, so it would have been Sunday for you guys. So Sunday, I spent all day in that heat and just absolutely fried myself. But we got her done, and should be a decent payday coming in here in the next couple of days. But I just want to let you know, this is something that's probably going to be going on for a while in terms of, you know, maybe I'm going to try to get as many uploads as I can throughout the week that I'm home, and then when I have to travel out of state, then, you know, obviously I'm not going to be able to upload. But yeah, maybe I'll do like a vlog or something with you guys. But honestly, I'm so tired by the time we're done, because in the 3 days that I was working, I ended up walking an average of 11 miles a day. 14 of that miles, over 14 miles was the very last day that we were working. That's a lot of walking, especially for somebody who's put on as much weight as I have this year. But still, it's a good time. The crew's a decent crew, and we generally had a pretty decent time. But anyway, just want to let you guys know what was going on if you didn't see the community post. But yeah. Anywho, this match is going to be interesting for a number of reasons, but you can see that I pulled up initially. I was going to try something a little bit different. I didn't want to push out to the right side. We have a cruiser, we have a battleship there. I wanted to kind of come inside, see if I can help the left side as much as I can. Maybe get some crossfires early on, and we do end up in a good spot to crossfire the enemy ships. This Conqueror on his He's not aware that I exist yet, I don't think. I think he's so locked in on what's going on his side that he just doesn't see this coming, and unfortunately that's going to end poorly for him as we take it Citadel the Conqueror. I love when that happens. Such a random thing. You don't always get Citadels on Conquerors because it's got such a deep Citadel, but it's one of those situations where things can and can't go wrong. Now, some of you guys probably noticed there was a destroyer here that dropped torps across my bow, which is why we beached ourselves to begin with. And then we got our crossfires, helped the left side, now we're going to help the right side. It's going to take some time to reverse. Wisconsin, I thought was going to YOLO in, and so I wanted to reverse angled a decent amount here because I didn't want to give him a full broadside, but at the same time I want my full broadside ready for him, because if we can get rid of him quickly, that would be ideal. Now what's going to happen is our cruiser here has already gotten slapped a few times. Now, me and this cruiser are going to have a bit of a tiffy. Mainly, or tizzy. I think it's a tizzy. But mainly because I say one thing. I'm not crying and hollering. I'm not doing any of that. I just simply said, you don't have to smoke up the moment that you get spotted. Right? And you'll see why I say that in a moment. Because he is going to be spotting the Napoli. Right? It's either him or the battleship. Somebody's going to be spotting the Napoli, and you can see he pulls forward initially, and I'm getting in position to help them. It just takes time. Like, I'm in a big, slow battleship, right? It takes time. But you can see I'm already aiming up the shot. I'm ready to go, and he is going to end up smoking up right about now, I believe. Now, I don't know if he's spotted from the Iwami, or if he just simply wants to fire his guns. But either way, he smokes up, and then we immediately lose spot. And so in this moment, you'll see me jump into chat, and I'm like, you don't have to smoke up the moment you get spotted. You can be fine. And then he goes off on a fucking tirade from hell. And then I just spend the rest of the game like showing him how wrong he is. But anyway, you can see Iwami's pushing up. He's got torpedoes heading in his direction. So I'm assuming at least bare minimum that the Iwami's going to eat some torpedoes. But as soon as I can get him spotted, I should be able to absolutely delete the Iwami. Now, I just want to point out that the Iwami wasn't able to shoot the Dalian when he was spotting the Napoli initially. So that ain't why he smoked up. But either way, you can see the Iwami torpedoes coming in. I'm looking over in the general direction because I know he's there. And the moment he gets spotted, I mean, look at this shot. Like, you can't ask for a better shot than this. And then, of course, I get some of the nastiest RNG you're gonna see. And pop goes the weasel. Down goes Iwami. But yeah, so at this point, now that we've gotten rid of the torpedo threat from the battleship, I'm going to go ahead and start bow in, pushing into the Alpha Cap, asserting the dominance of the Yamato. Napoli gets a shot at me. It's fine. I don't care. But we still know that there are two destroyers in the neighborhood, right? We've seen both of them over here at one point, at least in the neighborhood. So we don't want to be too crazy here. We want to move up, but we want to do it smart. Now, as we push through the smoke screen, we are going to be spotted initially. Napoli's going to go around the corner. Can't really do much about that, but their destroyer is clearly here. He's spotted us. Whether he's spotting us from the middle or spotting us from the Alpha Cap, or the Alpha Cap, doesn't really matter. But as we start to push in, I know that Napoli has torpedoes, so we know we're going to take one here. I was trying to take it on the cheek. We do take it on the cheek, reduces the overall damage from it, but unfortunately he does get the full flood. The only thing here is we're trying to make sure that we don't take more torpedoes. So I try to wait until he opens the angle a little bit more, and we go through the cheek, and we only get one Citadel. That's sadness. That guy should be dead. He should be dead. He does load AP to his credit, but he kind of shoots the thickest part of my armor instead of going through the cheek, so he doesn't Citadel me, which is good news for me. But then he goes for the ram here, which was pretty predictable. And fortunately for me, my guns are going to reload fast enough that we go straight through the bow. Now, if I didn't have the board commander on, my guns wouldn't have been loaded in time, and he would have rammed me. Moment number one where that commander has saved my bacon. But now that he's gone, we're going to go ahead and push in. Now, I know their Hayate was right off my bow, so we know the torpedo's there. You can see I'm looking over to my left. Hayate gets spotted momentarily, firing his guns at us as he goes behind the island. We get set on fire, and then I damage con a single fire, expecting the fact that I'm going to go dark, and I should be relatively smooth sailing for the moment. So now that I'm pushing in, you'll see that Dalian's still hanging around in the back, and whatever that battleship is doing in the back, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's a Wisconsin, but he really hasn't been all that useful for the team for most of the match. But we get a good look here at the Montana as we come around the corner. I've already got the shots on the way. He's looking a completely wrong direction, and we're going to slap him, doing over 26,000 damage. Of course, we get set on fire again. Not the biggest deal in the world. Again, we got 3 more heals, so I'm not too worried about that. One of the heals is about to come back anyway. So the main thing is just trying to limit who can shoot us and continue to put the pressure on the enemy. Now here we get a shot as the Montana's turning in. Should have probably held that shot a little bit longer, but you can see that the shells end up going right to his belt. He was turning really, really hard, so by the time the shells got to him, he'd already turned a little bit more. He gets a shot at us, doesn't really do any damage to us either, and we manage to, or he does manage to reset the cap. Now here, I'm going to go for the bow because we know we overmatch him. And he gets slapped by a teammate, and somehow I managed to pin and do no damage, but not end up killing the guy. Which is real unfortunate because I really need him dead. But as we push in, you can see there's a nice little gap in the torpedoes. We're going to slow down and try to make sure that we dodge those, and then we're going to go right through the bow of the Montana, shooting a little higher this time just to make sure we get as many shells on target as possible so that we don't leave them alive anymore. Now that he's dead, we've put up 176,000 damage. We've done our job. We've put ourselves at the front for the entire match, whether it be shooting the guy in the back. And then the Brisbane decides he wants to come over and play too. And so we're going to use the camera to switch to the front guns so that I can make sure that I'm around the island before I pull the trigger. And once we're clear, I take the shot, and I mean, it's just a broadside Brisbane. He's toast. But we also know that he has torpedoes, so we've got to turn towards the Brisbane to make sure that we make ourselves as skinny as possible. Hayate gets himself spotted against our destroyer, and so we're going to go ahead and get our guns ready to shoot him. And you can see there is a gap here, but unfortunately we are going to catch a torp right on the cheek. Fortunately, it's reduced again. And we take the shot at the Hayate. We're going to get a nice little chunk on him as well, giving us another chunk of XP and our Confederate for good measure. Bring us up to 195,000 damage with a Dev Strike, a High Cal, and a Confederate. Overall, a pretty good game, I think we can all agree. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and try to get into Delta. So what do I want to say about this particular match is, like, don't always assume that everybody's that's in, like, one of the comments that he makes is that because I'm a battleship, he's like, well, if you ever played cruisers, which you guys all know that I do, right? Like, you guys know that I play cruisers and destroyers and battleships. I'm fully aware of what all of them are capable of. I know what the Dalian is. I know what it's capable of. And that's one of the things that I bring up here towards the end as everything calms down a little bit. I was like, the whole thing started from me simply saying that you don't have to smoke up the moment that you like see an enemy ship. And the reason I say that is he was out spotting the Napoli, right? Like, all day, every day. He's just out spotting him. The Napoli was spotted. As long as he just doesn't fire his guns, he should maintain that. Now, if the Wami pushes forward and gets him spotted, smoke up, sure. But that wasn't the case in the moment, right? So what he ends up doing is he was the spotter for the team, and not only that, but I can't see them. I can't spot them myself because there's now a smoke screen between me and him. So, again, but he went on a big tangent about me being a battleship captain and how if I ever played cruisers that, you know, I would understand what a cruiser's job is and all this. We all know that I do understand what cruisers do. I do understand that sometimes using islands, using smoke screens to your advantage is a good option, but there's also a lot of times where cruiser players play a little too passively for their team's benefit. And that usually results in bad team play, right? Like, obviously we had a Wisconsin over there. You can see he took very little damage for the entire match. Destroyers coming around behind them. But if he had pushed forward, maybe he spots for the team, sure. But you saw what I was doing, right? He didn't see what I was doing. He just immediately jumped on me because I'm the one saying, well, maybe you shouldn't smoke up right away. You know what I mean? But he jumps on me, and I've been the one person for the entire match helping everybody on the map. Everybody. Help the middle, help the left, help the right. I did it all. And so maybe don't just jump on the first person that says something. Just because somebody may even, like, even if I had been extra critical of something that you did in the moment, doesn't mean I'm being a douche, right?
We will add their
So you don't necessarily need to go full nuclear apocalypse, right? And this is coming from the one person known for going full nuclear apocalypse all the time. Like, but I do it on live stream. I don't do it in game chat, usually. Like, the worst that you'll hear me in game chat usually is this team through the match, or I wish I had a teammate, or something like that. That's usually the part that gets everybody, like, here being a game. But 3,429 base XP, 4 kills, top of the leaderboard. I mean, I clearly did my part. And our Dalian, not so much. So, who's right? Who's wrong? Are we both right? Are we both wrong? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.